welcome to the Weber Cup from Las Vegas, the iconic 10-pin showdown between the USA and Europe. Session 2 is underway, but before we continue the action, let's take a look back at how the first session panned out.
The tournament opened with the traditional Baker match, which saw the European challengers draw first blood in front of the first American crowd. Team USA fired back in the first singles match when Anthony Svensson decisively beat Jesper Svensson. Match 3 saw the US rookie Jacob Butturff win the game in his hands in the 10th frame, but left the frame open to give Europe the edge. The Americans fired back through captain Chris Barnes, who led from the front against a misfiring Stu Williams to tie the score at 2-all. Weber Cup 19 MVP saw off the challenge of Palermaa to take their first lead in the tournament. Match 6 saw our first rematch between Anthony Svensson and Jesper Svensson, with the American winning for the second time to extend Team USA's lead. The rest of the day, however, belonged to the Europeans, as Stu Williams shot Team Europe's best score of the day to beat the American debutant. Before the fans' choice fixture saw the two captains face off in the final match of the first session, both players were feeling the pressure, but ultimately Barrett saw Europe draw level to end day one.
Confirmation of the results from day 2 so far, and it was Kyle Troup who got the USA off to a flyer, but the USA were pegged back in a very close encounter as Barrett and Palermaa edged out Butturff and Barnes. Our first match in today's show is captain versus captain, Barnes v Barrett. Your commentators for this match are Guy Kaminsky, but first, Jesse May.
Pivotal singles match between the captains. Let's take a seat at the captain's table. And Guy Kaminsky, for Dominic Barrett, who is basically supported Team Europe. He's been involved in nearly every point so far. He'll want to do this again.
Yeah, he has to, and he really has been leading from the front. Be interesting to see here. Dom will probably play quite inside the lane. What I want to see is whether Chris will stay outside and play pretty straight, or he'll follow Dom and play the inside line.
Opening statement, was that a little high?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose just first shot. I mean, he shouldn't. I mean, he's pretty warm after playing the last game, but cut it short. Just didn't get the ball down the lane. And that's the difficulty with a long oil pattern, is that in your mind, good spare from Dom. I would say it's a routine spare, but we've seen quite a few of routine spares missed already this morning.
And Chris Barnes is going to be all business here. Very serious game face he's got. I mean, you know, the way Jesper Svensson is thinking about Anthony Svensson right now, if Barrett wins this one, Chris Barnes is going to be thinking Dominic's his bogeyman.
Absolutely. These tiny jewels start to develop over the week. I just want to see where Chris plays here. That's going to be very interesting. I think he may stay quite further right and very straight. Yep, that looks very good.
He's feeling it, Chris Barnes, and he wants it. He's a lead from the front kind of guy, and he's trying to put his foot down and show Dominic Barrett he can't be pushed around.
With the long oil pattern, you don't want to get the bowling ball traveling too far away from the head pin, because there's very little time for it to come back. And that's the difficulty I was mentioning earlier for Dom. When you play so far inside, in your mind, you know you can't miss to the right. Now, what your natural reaction is to grab onto the ball and make it turn, and then it goes through the nose.
I mean, there has been no other player playing so far left on this pattern yet, has there? Are the righties?
No, they haven't. And the new bowling balls today are taking oil off the lane every time that it goes down the lane. So they naturally migrate left, trying to look for the ball to have oil to reduce the friction to keep it on track, on line. But yeah, this is why it always gets difficult towards the back end before we re-oil the lanes again. And historically, the left-handers would play now at the back end because there hasn't been that much traffic on their side of the lane.
So they're re-oiling the lane every 3 matches, and so for you, these third matches in the sessions after oil, they're the most tactical. Is that why the captains both stuck themselves in, because they're the best at reading these tactics?
Yeah, they must have felt that they had a really good feel. And don't forget that every player has to play the same number of games. So sometimes you can't just play the same guy over and over again. But Dom must have felt that he had a good look on the burn. And Chris has gone the other way. He's playing it real straight, keeping his angle nice and straight, which should give him less error. I mean his worst
dramatic
shot should be a 9.
differences in the approaches that these guys are taking on the lane.
And you've got to bowl to your strength. This is Chris's strength. He's a finesse player. Look, that's perfect. I mean, this is meat and drink for Chris Barnes, is hitting his mark, and it's repetition of shots, you know.
Barnes is saying to Dom, you picked the pattern yesterday. Today was my choice, and I picked it, and I'm going to dominate it.
Yeah, excuse the pun with Dom.
Right, dominate the dominator.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, the young kids say the two-handed guys. We watch Dom come here now. That's perfect. That's really good from Dom. So the new kids on the block, the power players, aren't really trying to hit the same mark every single time because their ball's so powerful. Their pocket is much bigger than the guy with his thumb on the ball, where a guy like Chris is trying to repeat shots and hit the same part of the lane time after time. So two very different. You're seeing the older school player versus the next generation.
So well judged there by Dominic Barrett. Just kissed that ball in. Let's see if Chris Barnes, he's been perfect so far in this match.
Yeah, Chris has made a living making these shots on difficult lane patterns, just with his hand, just small, minuscule changes. Oh. You heard Chris say push there. I don't know if you heard that, Jesse. He knew he had it fractionally inside.
Way too far right.
He did. Now time for mop-up. He's still well in charge if he can clear this out.
That's still a great shot. I mean, unfortunately, the ball just driving past the 9-pin. But Chris, very vocal today. He's been talking to the crowd, trying to gee himself up. I mean, there's no doubt he is as up for this Weber Cup as any of the previous ones.
I know he's had a huge career, obviously, all the titles. He's been around for such a long time at the top of the game. But here, Weber Cup coming back to the USA, first time in 20 years. This has got to be a pivotal moment. Chris Barnes wants to deliver this for Team USA.
Absolutely. I think when you're getting to the twilight of your career, these moments just become much more special.
And you know what? Now that Dominic Barrett has found his zone, you feel like he could drill 20 of these with his eyes closed.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chris will remember what happened to him last night. He had a healthy lead at the halfway mark, and Dom came back and snatched the point for Europe right at the deck.
Yeah, I mean, Barrett switched balls mid-match and then threw 4 strikes in a row, I think, last night.
And you won't forget, that'll play in your mind. You'll know that when you're playing against Dom, it's never over till it's over. But again, interacting with a crowd, very vocal.
Two now loose shots in a row for the opening.
So this is, you see he's thinking now, because those last 2 shots, although they've got 9, have just hooked a fraction early for him. And the difficulty is that he can't just do a small move. He either needs to jump to where Dom is, or he's got to, with his hand, manipulate the amount of hook down lane.
Clear up duty But all of a sudden, Dominic Barrett with a chance to, well, it's only one pin difference now.
Probably where you're at. So now I can move where we were, the practice shot. Yeah, I'm just gonna move a couple. I'm gonna move a couple more in, and then I can.
Chris telling his teammates there that he's going to move a couple boards, just a couple boards in, and that was the mistake he said he made last night, is that he just moved a few boards instead of doing a massive jump to where Dom was.
Is this part of what they call the lane transition, which the conditions are changing quite fast right now? Meanwhile, Dominic Barrett has revved up and is geared to go.
Yeah.
Away with that one.
Dom saying got away with it. But
Okay,
look how far inside, you know, he's letting that ball go through the middle area. He's way left of where Chris is. And the difficulty is Chris is trying to stay away from that transition. He's trying to stay to the right. But look, he's thinking.
This is big for Barnes. He's making a big adjustment right now, right?
No, he said to his team he's going to do 2 boards. It's a small adjustment.
Okay.
So he's still staying in a similar area. Absolutely perfect.
2 boards was the right number there. Let's see if his team likes it.
Yeah, so maybe before those.
You were telling me there's 39 boards out there, right?
Yep.
And sometimes just 2 will be a big difference.
Yeah, lane's 42 inches wide.
Barrett's on 3 strikes in a row. He's hit a turkey. Let's see if he goes 4-peat. Oh, man, is he tough.
I mean, neither player giving an inch. And you wouldn't expect anything less from the captains.
Oh, this match feels so pivotal right now. And for Chris Barnes, he finally found his lane back. Can he repeat the last shot? He's still got a 1-pin lead, but it feels very fragile right now with Barrett coming like a freight train.
It's just too close to call. I have no idea which way this game's going to go.
Whoa! You got to be perfect on the big stage, and both these players are right now.
Yeah, both players are really dialed in now, and we saw this with Osku. Now it's not about changing balls and doing anything like that. It's just purely execution. As we get closer to the end, the pressure ramps up and it becomes more difficult to execute shots.
You know, 4-man teams, but the 5th man, the crowd right now, really solid for the USA. They've never experienced it like this in the Weber Cup. You can hear how vocal Team USA is. The crowd loves them. Barrett in the lion's den. Oh, what happened?
Wow, that was a big mistake there. Dom just cut that short. Unfortunately, didn't let it go as good as he wanted, so the ball hooked so early.
Now, how do you mop this one up?
I mean, a makeable, I mean, when I say it's incredibly difficult, but there is a chance of making it.
Where's the placement got to be? Is it you got to be a little bit right here, or that top pin?
Yeah, the 3-6, you got to slide the 3-pin across onto the 4-7. Like that. Oh, wow, that was close.
Left a few ducks on the pond there. Big opening for Chris Barnes. Can he put the hammer down now? And an uncharacteristic mistake from Dominic Barrett.
Yeah, it was. When you're playing so inside, it's extremely important you get your ball down to your break point. That ball just hooked so hard and so early through the face. But now it looks like it's Chris Barnes' match to lose.
Oh, that was beautiful. And the crowd loves it.
And he'll definitely want to run. that match last night. I spoke to him afterwards. He was extremely disappointed in the way he finished that match last night because he felt that 5-3 was a true reflection of the play from last night. They felt that Europe didn't play well enough to be tough after that. But
you know, it was a question of Europe winning all the close matches and then USA winning the blowouts.
And there again.
No, what do you do with that? That's called the impossible spare, am I right?
Yeah, the 7-10. You've got to get really lucky. You need to bounce it out the pit. And we've seen a few pins bounce out already. Our shot of the day.
Oh, not a bad effort, but this going all wrong at the end for Dominic Barrett and for Chris Barnes. A chance to close it out. I mean, these are...
So I didn't really expect Dom to make those last two shots. That was purely execution, nothing else.
Strike here would be all but critical for Team Europe in this match. Oh, he's done it. Yeah. Not leaving this one to chance, is he?
No, that's so good. And that's what Chris Barnes does. He controls the pocket. He eliminates the big splits. He may get more nines than other guys, but he doesn't get the big open frames.
Is it time for Dominic Barrett now? Is this match lost enough for him to try something new to see if something will act differently? This is a different ball, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got nothing to lose now. He's purely just... The swing is loose. When the pressure is off, it's always easy to make those shots. That's the thing.
Right, yeah, that's better.
Swing gets loose, just peered it off his hand. Yeah, also changed balls. But a perfect strike there, splitting the 8-9.
Barnes basically just has to show up these last two frames to seal the deal. 6 strikes, 2 spares. That's a good.
He would still want to
stat.
strike and just send a strong message to Team Europe.
Well, talk about getting the monkey off your back. Chris Barnes says he doesn't mind facing Dominic Barrett. Captain's choice is fine for him.
Jesse, as you said, it's been amazing that USA have had some landslide victories. Oh, he's missed another one.
Oh, no.
Just stop.
Oh, no.
What are you doing?
Has that given Team Europe a chance? I'm just looking here.
No, he only needs 8 pins and 2 balls to shut out Europe, assuming that Dom strikes here. I think that's just a lack of concentration.
No, I'm watching the people.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if Dominic Barrett keeps that ball he's just used the last 2 frames as this session continues.
I did it.
2 strikes in the mop-up duty.
Yeah, but that's just, the match is pretty much done. He knew it, and he's just kind of feeling loose and executed perfectly.
Anything but a catastrophe here, and Team USA sealing the point. That'll do. Captain delivering. And the USA take a 6-5 lead. That's what Chris Barnes had in mind when he picked this pattern, guys. USA asserting dominance again. They eke out a 1-point lead in the Weber Cup. Still 5 matches to play in this session number 2, and everything's up in the air on the lane.
Welcome back to the Weber Cup, where in the battle of the captains, Chris Barnes has come out on top against Dominic Barrett. He's now with Hannah Wilkes.
Chris Barnes is alongside me now. Chris, you're definitely enjoying yourself out there. How is this lane playing for you?
Not bad, actually. I didn't expect to have the greatest ball reaction. I didn't set myself up to bowl a whole lot today, but I had pretty good look there. And it was time for some redemption. I've given away 2 points already, and it was time to get us back on the right side a little bit.
We talk loads about confidence when it comes to the Weber Cup, and I know you're not one to feel nervous really on the lane, but when it comes to getting that momentum and getting wins under your belt, it's particularly important here, isn't it?
Well, it is, and it's not really nerves at this point, but you do have to have ball reaction. You're bowling some of the best players in the world, and when you're bowling Dom, he's been the best European for a long time now. He's been at this for over a decade. You don't normally get too many mistakes from his side, so you have to take advantage when you get them.
There was a danger, wasn't there, that he could have turned into a little bit of a bogeyman for you if he'd have got that one away. What's the message amongst the US team at the moment? Because this is such a close Weber Cup in a way that we haven't seen in recent years.
Well, I think we're in really good shape. Kyle's got great look on the fresh. He's set up to bowl on the fresh 2 more times. Jacob's got a good ball reaction today, and they're going to bowl a lot from here on. And so they're going to get our best shot, and I think we got our best bowlers lined up for it.
It's a tight affair in Vegas for Weber Cup 20. Troup gave the USA a slim lead, but they were then pegged back in the first doubles match of this year's event. And as we've just seen, Barnes beat Barrett as the captains faced off. The USA leads 6-5 as we head into our next doubles match. Let's head down to a congested commentary box where Jesse May is joined by Tim Mack and Guy Kaminsky.
Guys, Chris Barnes said something really interesting in the interview after the last match. He said Kyle Troup has got a great look a fresh look at the fresh oil, and we've just had the lane re-oiled. Kyle Troup's coming up. I mean, they expect him to just blow the lane away right now.
Listen, Kyle was great in his first match in the singles. And I would anticipate he's going to play the lane exactly the same because he's going to be over there by himself bowling with Butturff. Same ball, same angle, not the same result. Yeah, I mean, that shot came up a little high, obviously on the head pin. I think it was maybe just a pinch left to target. Yeah, that's the unique thing about the format, right? It's trying to stay loose when you have that 30 or 40-minute break. And I don't think people understand that are watching from home when this game takes so much physical energy and whoa, what happened there?
Yeah, an open frame to start things off, guys. This is inauspicious. And for Jesper Svensson, it's exactly what he wanted to deal into.
He looked great in practice, guys.
Is this a new Jesper Svensson today? Not the same Jesper we saw yesterday.
I mean, just the fact that he's not seeing Simonson has got to just give him a spring in the step.
We talked about it yesterday. We thought this was key. If he bowled anybody else but Simonson, and he bowls a big game or has some key shots in some key spots, look out. That's a big, big, big plus for the European squad. And obviously the first shot out of the gate, he comes up with 10 back.
Troup to resume normal service.
Great shot.
I mean, it's just what you expect from him.
Yeah, much better shot from Kyle. Obviously, that first shot a little loose. Didn't like it, but that was a great answer to his first mistake. Again, he's the best. He as a two-handed bowler, he is the best at using his legs. He gets really low at the line, and that's a key for him when he's having success, when he throws good shots.
I heard you talking to Oscar yesterday, and you were saying to him that you felt that he didn't have his legs underneath him.
That's right. And if you look at Simonson and you look at Kyle, those guys have really got their lower body underneath them and have had more success early. Let's see if that big shot in the doubles helps propel Oscar here. And it does. Great opening shot from Oscar using the urethane ball, which is what we thought he was going to do. So he had a good talk with his captain, Dom Barrett. and his teammates Jesper Svensson and Stuart Williams, and has attacked the lane differently. He's now standing almost right on top of where Kyle is with a bowling ball that doesn't change direction a lot, and he got a great result.
And now Jacob's got to try and keep up here. Everybody striked except for him so far.
Yeah, but Timmy, almost, when your confidence is down, trying to control the pocket is so important. Just eliminate the error to build the confidence up, and then maybe get more aggressive and look for more attacking lines.
100% agree. Great shot from Jacob. I agree with you, Guy, 100%, because especially more so in the doubles, because you don't want to leave these designs for your teammate to try to go up and spare. And if you can control the pocket, you can actually get away with a couple of frames until you get comfortable. And we see Jacob, she's throwing a light shaker mixer there and getting the job done.
I mean, these alternate shot doubles is really tough to bowl. But what we have seen is that when people start striking, it kind of brings the other team into it as well. They start striking as well, and it goes the other way. When everyone starts missing, the other team starts missing.
This is huge for the European team, guys. Jesper Svensson out early with a double, and as I said earlier, I watched him in practice, and he said he's going to keep that ball close to the head, but he's not going to try to give it away too much. And you can see the first 2 shots, really happy and really excited about the result.
I mean, it's the first bit of rhythm we've seen from Jesper Svensson. Maybe Team Europe as a whole. Team USA are cooking along. Let's see if Kyle can keep it going.
Yeah, I felt like USA maybe has bowled a little bit better, and the Europeans are very fortunate to be only down 1 point right now.
Jesse and I were talking about it earlier, is that all the close games have gone Europeans' way, but there have been some landslide victories for USA.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way. And this is a big shot from Kyle here, following up a strike from his partner Butturff. Really high flush on the headpin. He loves it.
He's the only one using reactive yet. To me, he's just getting it end over end with ball speed to control the pocket?
Yeah, he's using a really, really strong bowling ball. And sometimes in bowling, you want to use the big, strong bowling balls that roll early and don't change a lot of direction down lane, especially on fresh lane patterns. That's why we see so much urethane in today's modern game, because it hooks the earliest and doesn't change direction down lane. That's an unlucky break from Moscow, leaving the 4-9. But that was a little left of target.
Well.
Little left of target.
Okay.
Little left of target.
Target, and I'm sure some American fans out there might be saying a little bit of justice, because he's had some great breaks so far.
Yeah, you allude to the breaks, and we go back to that doubles bounce where he got that really lucky strike in a really key spot, and then he threw the great shot in the 9th frame. And I listened to Dom Barrett, the captain of the European team. It was more of a pump up and a confidence to say, hey man, Oscar's my guy. I got his back, and we're riding through him through thick and thin, and let's see if that can hold over in this match, because
come on, baby. Tough spare.
Look, to me, it's obviously his job as captain of Europe to give the bravado, the confidence to his player, but it's us as analysts should really call it how we see it. I mean, what do you think his chances are of turning it around this week?
Listen, he's got to free up. He's got to shut off all the noise, right? He's got to go get into a little bubble, and he's got to really focus hard on the task at hand. And I think he's got to stop listening to the voices, and he's really just got to hunker down and narrow his mind and focus in.
Butturff on the verge of finding his form. Is it there?
That was not a very good shot, Jesse. That was, it looked like Jacob really hit up on the ball and really gave it a lot more rotation than he has in previous shots. And you watch the ball dive in the headpin. His follow through is a little bit more towards the sky, which is more upright, and that makes the ball hook earlier, and hence that's what he leaves. We actually call that the double nuts.
I was gonna say that looks like the devil's pyramid to me.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't climb it, you can't knock it down.
So once Palermaa gives the opportunity for the USA to jump on board here, Butturff gives it right back to the Europeans.
Yeah, just comparing those 2 shots, Oscar's wasn't really that far off.
No, agreed, 100% agreed.
And what kind of change? I mean, the left-handers aren't used to having, someone bowling the same time as them. Both of them throwing urethane. How much change how much transition is going to happen on the left-hand side during this game?
Well, this is the first time we've seen both lefties on the lane at the same time, other than the Baker, I believe. Great shot from Oscar there with a ring 10, but Jesper's rev rate is higher, and his ball speed is faster. So Jacob likes to play, some more angles and some different angles. So I would think that Jacob would be more influenced, influenced by Jesper throwing the urethane down the lane.
And when you say influence, negatively influenced, not positive.
Yeah, I would think it could make Jesper could make Jacob move and make some more transitional moves on the lane. That was a lot cleaner and a lot better. And a lot better result.
You know, they said about the poker player, Stu Unger, it may look like a deer in the headlights, but there's a rattlesnake in his blood. Butturff has got the game to play here.
So you see, gets through that one really good. And the ball, 10 back, exactly executed, perfectly executed shot.
I mean, I feel sorry for Oscar here. He actually hasn't bowled that bad. And, you know, the ring 10 and
the 4-9.
The 4-9, I mean, 2 tough breaks. But now it's going to be 4 frames. But if he strikes now, it's 4 frames since Jesper bowled the frame.
That's right. This is a big shot. You got to get Jesper back on and throwing the first shot. That was a good one. I agree with you, Guy. Great analyst analyzing Oscar in this game. He's been really solid. He's been a little bit unlucky in the 4-9 and the ring 10. And he's taken a page right out of Kyle Troup's playbook and stood right on top of him and trying to play the same angle and same line as Kyle Troup.
Okay, there's been a couple open frames so far in this match, but it's high quality. Both these teams are on pace for a pretty high score.
Yeah, the Europeans holding a slim 11-point lead in this format. We know that can evaporate in one shot.
Yeah, 30 pins for a strike with world scoring.
Wow. And just like that, we see something very similar to what happened to Oscar Palermaa in the 4th frame.
Troup's got his head down a little bit.
Yeah,
there.
he's disappointed. Obviously, he knows he's on a strike, and that's not a very bad shot. It's a little bit of an unfortunate break. He maybe should have just left the 4-7, but Jesse, we talked about it earlier. The two-handers create so much power and so much angle that the ball sometimes drives through the pins and goes right by them.
The Americans can't get away to me. I mean, we keep thinking that the momentum's going with being in America, the crowd so behind them, and we just think that the outlook looks bleak, and then somehow the Europeans found a way just to keep hanging on, like a junkyard dog chewing on a bone.
Yeah, I can tell you right now that that's what the Europeans are doing, because I think with each match that this happens, they gain more and more confidence, because as you said, the Europeans are just hanging on, and every match they got a chance right now, other than a couple of matches where it got away from them.
How big is this shot for Jesper Svensson? He hasn't been part of a point yet in this Weber Cup. He's got a chance to strike here and nearly close the door. This is huge for his confidence and momentum.
With a strike here, they go up 32 pins, and that's a huge lead to have in the 8th and 9th and 10th frame. So, and he's bowled really well so far early in this doubles match.
And the difference between him and Oscar is he has bowled well, is that his opponents bowled better.
Yeah, he loves it, and he lets the crowd know about it.
You heard it from him there. Come on!
I'm telling you, he's the key. I saw early in the practice session, he looked really good in this pattern, and he's proved it already in this doubles match. That's 3 for 3 perfect strikes for Jesper Svensson.
I mean, if you were the captain of Europe, you've got to say to your team, we haven't hit our straps yet, and we're only all tied up.
If they win this match, yeah, they can tie it up and feel like they're right there.
But they haven't bowled great yet.
No,
they haven't even clicked.
It's there for the taking. It's a ball change.
So he made the adjustment. Was it the right one?
Great ball change from Kyle. Obviously, the ball that he went to creates a little bit more angle down the lane, so he's seeing a little transition on his side of the lane from Oscar using the urethane, and now also following his own transition. And now he changes balls, and it's a great answer to what Jesper just put up for the European team.
I mean, this is a big frame now because of the score difference. So this essentially can kind of put them to bed. And I just want to see Oscar throw a good shot here. We've seen him under the pressure not execute well. Irrespective of the result, I just want to see him throw a good one.
That's a good one. Little flat 10, but hits the pocket. Gets
the hand slap from Jesper anyway.
Yeah, Jesse, you made a great point. You know, now you got Jesper, who's got to come up and shoot the cross spare 10 pin, which, you know, the righty throws the first ball, now the lefty shooting the spare. It's kind of unorthodox in that regard. So it's very unique, this whole doubles format.
We've seen a few spares missed already.
You mean Jesper so used to hitting the other side of the lane when he's got a 1-pin spare. That 7-pin is basically, he lives with that 7-pin.
Yeah, he leaves a lot more 7 pins than 10 pins, so it's a little bit unorthodox. But you see he used the urethane ball, doesn't play the big angle, and that high rev rate just gets the job done. So now it's the 9th and 10th frames, and we've said it earlier, the money frames. Who's going to step up to the plate and put themselves in a chance to win a point?
Does he like it?
Yeah, I always felt when I was behind on the scoreboard, it was much easier to strike to put the other guy under pressure. I always thought it was harder when you were leading. And I mean, now essentially that Europe need 1 strike the next 2 frames ready to put it to bed. I find these are harder shots to make when you feel like you should be winning this game and you don't want to give it away.
Right, this is a huge shot. I think Oscar Palermaa, the last time he stepped up in the 9th frame, threw a great shot in the previous doubles match.
These guys are having fun. I tell you, I mean, obviously competition is intense, but it's great to see that they're enjoying it as well.
Well, it's hard not to enjoy this environment. It's the best environment in the planet to bowl on.
Oh, that was absolutely ice perfect.
Oscar Palermaa, class, right there. Well
Is
done,
this
my
match
friend.
on or what?
Stepping up to the plate when his European team needs it, up in the air. Long swing, gets the ball up the lane, boom, 10 back.
A strikeout for USA will force Europe to close to mark in the 10th.
That's going to put a lot of pressure on Team Europe. They ain't out of the woods yet.
Yeah, he lets them know that it's still a ball game, but I got to be honest with you, we're in Las Vegas, and I've known to have a bet in my lifetime once in a while, and if I'm a betting man, I'm putting a lot of house money right now on Jesper Svensson to throw a great shot. I can tell you that. He's been rock solid. He's 4 for 4 in the game, and it doesn't look like he's going to do anything but throw a strike.
Oscar must be hoping Svensson strikes and doesn't make him have to make the mark.
I think Oscar's gaining more confidence with each match, which is something that he alluded to in his interview. Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Remember, we're in this very unique environment. We're in a very stadium setting here, 1-lane setting where, you know.
What's that going to do for his confidence now, Timmy? This is a huge ball in the Weber Cup.
This is what you have to do. You have to reset, retool, and go through your pre-shot routine again. And you can see he loses his footing a little bit, doesn't like where his power step came out from underneath him. And the right thing to do is put your ball down, reset, retool, and just make the shot. You've been here thousands of times. Make it happen. Money.
How much does he love the Weber Cup?
Svensson on the board.
Jesper Svensson's on the board, Jesse. Look out. This is dangerous for the American team.
On the board, Team Europe is back. Oscar Palermaa and Jesper Svensson saying we are not just here to make up the numbers, but score points. And this Weber Cup level again at 6-6. Team USA is going to have to find the answers again. It's all heating up.
Dom, anything the USA do, you just meet them, join them, better them at this point, don't you?
That's the one thing that we've shown over so many years that we've been doing this is the biggest heart of it, all these teams comes from within the European players. I think that started years ago with Tora and Thomas Anderson. Tora just won the Senior US Open last week here in Vegas. And you can see that in Stewie, within Oscar, Jesper, and myself. So we have so much heart, and that's what you see within our team more than anything else.
Jesper is one of those players that once he finds his form on this Weber Cup lane, he really strikes some fear into the US team. How good was it to see him firing on all cylinders in that match?
Definitely, and I think he's very comfortable now. He looks pretty good in practice behind me. Stu's there helping him out, and he looks really good. I think the same can be said for Oscar. Looked really good that last game, starting to feel comfortable now, and I don't feel too bad. Stewie bowled great last night. He's going to bowl good match after this one, so we're all feeling pretty good at the moment.
Oscar, we've seen you really get comfortable out here. Real turnaround from yesterday's performance. How happy are you with how you're bowling?
It's a relief, of course, because like I said, we talked before, confidence is a big thing. And if you don't have it, and if you're struggling, you feel like you're there alone, like you're letting your team down, but it's getting there, getting better.
It certainly is. In terms of the team format and playing as part of a team again, it must be so fantastic to be playing alongside your fellow players and really finding that rhythm alongside Jesper in that match.
It is great. Like Dom said, we have heart, and we proved it already, and we're just going to keep on crushing them.
So it's all square at 6 apiece after wins for Barnes in the singles and Svensson and Palermaa in the doubles. The competition is on a knife edge and could go either way at this stage. Coming up in our next show, the rookie Jacob Butturff faces Jesper Svensson, and Barnes and Simonsen take on Barrett and Williams when the Weber Cup returns.